Let me tell you something that too many people learn too late. Abuse doesn't always start with a hit, it starts with the little things we convince ourselves to ignore. A woman shared her story online this week, and it is a perfect example of how the red flags show up long before the violence does. She said she and her partner were arguing about his drinking, his aggressiveness, the way he reacts when she's upset or sets boundaries. Let's be clear, that's not a disagreement, that's volatility, and that's a warning sign. In the post here, she shared that he had gotten upset because she didn't want to drink with him. This is not some person that feels a type of way. This is coercion. That is someone throwing a tantrum because you have autonomy over your own body. She told him to leave. She tried to shut it down. She blocked him on all of her social medias as well as her phone. But understand, abusers don't honor boundaries, they push harder. He eventually came back, calling from a second phone, standing outside of her door, yelling through the door, and that's harassment. And it's also stalking behavior. That's someone who refuses to let go of control. He would then go on to break her ring camera and broke down her front door to get into her home. And once he was inside, he destroyed her furniture. That's intimidation, and that is meant to escalate, and they want you to be scared. And then he put his hands on her, held her in her own house, forced her to go to her own room. That's false imprisonment. This is violence and a crime. But here's the part people miss. She said, "This isn't the first time. I wish I took the smaller moments more serious." He pretends to be nice to everyone else. Often, what that means is he's charismatic in public and held behind closed doors. That is the cycle of violence, a connection built on chaos and comfort mixed together. And victims often minimize this behavior, not because they're too weak, but because they're human and they want to believe them. Often, a bond formed in chaos is not a spiritual connection, it's a cycle that keeps you stuck. And now she's traumatized and has to move for her to feel safe. Her story matters because it didn't start with broken doors and bruises. It started with red flags that were small enough to excuse and consistent enough to become normal. So here's the truth we need to hear. If someone gets angry with you because you say no, if they're upset because you have boundaries, they show you two different versions of themselves, public charm and private chaos. If your peace becomes unpredictable, this is not love. That is the beginning of a dangerous progression, not to mention the physical and financial cost of enduring that violence. These relationships end in either life, death, prison, or freedom. You don't have to wait for the worst moment to take action. Wait to be relieved or to be hurt bad enough. Please listen to the small signs because the small signs are the big signs. If you or someone you know can relate, do me a favor. Please drop a purple heart and share this.